Hi Leisl, tell us about your new book, Killing Me Softly.
Killing Me Softly is about the music world. When music producer Alexia Deningham is working with enigmatic rock star Daemon Flagherty, she is stalked by a sadistic killer who's seeking revenge, and it's set in the Cumbrian wilds of England, and it just includes everything about romantic suspense that I love, which is a hot romance with somebody's murderous intent on the side.
And why the setting in England? Why did you choose that?
I think because when I was younger, my family and we were travelling with my family overseas, and we've got family in Scotland, and we drove up. It took quite a few days to drive up from England to Scotland, and whilst people go on about the English countryside and how beautiful it is, but I kind of thought that the area coming into Scotland and in Scotland itself was much more, it just spoke to me. It was very dark and gloomy, and it looked like the mountains had been dropped from the sky and splintered apart, and I just loved the black-faced sheep and the shaggy cows, and yeah, it just really spoke to me. So when I was thinking of where this could be set, and being set in the music industry, it kind of either had to be England or the US. I just felt that area was more where it needed to be set for what the conflicts of the characters were.
And music obviously it's a big theme from a performing point of view and a writing point of view as well, involving both characters. So are you involved in the music industry in some way, or have
Not
been?
The music industry. I was a performer, and I'm a classically trained singer, and I play the piano as well. And when I was younger, I used to write music on the piano, and for years I owned a theatre restaurant and was the musical director for that, and I used to be in bands and things, so I've spent some time in music music studios, and I've also got friends and family who are in the industry as well in various forms, so I'm not ignorant of it, and music just speaks to me. Like I've always loved reading, but I just love music as well. It just really captures my soul, and songs speak to me in a way that I think a lot of people don't get that same feeling about music. So it just really, I loved writing about characters who felt things through music.
And your heroine, of course, is a twin, which I thought was a very interesting theme in the book. So do you have any experience of twins, or you like the idea of it from a writing point of view?
Well, both actually. My cousins are twins, and my sister and I were quite close to them growing up because they're roughly about the same age. And it used to fascinate me how they would finish each other's sentences, and often, one of them was aware when another one had been hurt. Things like that. And even though they were really different personalities, to some degree they were also the same. So it was very strange. In fact, their brothers just usually couldn't tell them apart when they were very little, and just called them twin. rather than use their names. Which I always thought was funny. And I've also taught quite a few twins. I've taught quadruplets actually, which was quite interesting. And their relationship really is quite fascinating.
Are we talking music when you say you taught?
No, I'm actually an aquatic education teacher as well. So yes, I teach swimming.
You do a lot of things.
Yeah.
How do you fit in writing with all of that?
I think that I've always been a creative person, and when I had my kids, or my youngest son was born quite premature, and he's got some learning and behavioural problems, and so I sort of had to mostly give up work to deal with that, and the swimming teaching just really, I needed something else, and the swimming teaching was good for that because I could just be there for 2 or 3 hours and then be with him, and the writing just, I needed something for myself. I needed to be creative because I had to drop all of the performing and script writing and stuff that I used to do. So the writing just kind of grew out of that. I started writing down ideas that I had, and they became stories, and
And what led you to romance in particular?
I've always loved romance.
Why?
What's not to love about romance? Just the idea of a happy ever after. It's of finding your soulmate, and being with that person who just knows you better than anybody else. I just think that that's really special. And I think pretty much every book I've ever written and really enjoyed had some form of romance in it. I think most of the great literature in the world has romance in it. So, I just I just love exploring those relationships alongside other plot things.
And your experience of writing Killing Me Softly, did it take you long to write it? Did you whiz through it? What was it like?
I'm a reasonably fast writer when I actually sit down to write. I can get a fair few words on the page quite quickly. I tend to get my ideas through dreams, and it's not until after I've had a dream a number of times that I kind of think, well, that's sticking, and sit down and start to write about it. So I'm very much a pantser. I don't plot at all, and then I just kind of see what's going to happen. When I sat down to write Killing Me Softly, it really was just about two people in the music industry, and then this killer came along and ruined things for them. So yeah, it was kind of a surprise to me when that happened. And yeah, I got to the end of the book and realised, no, that's actually really what it's about. It's about all of that all together. So you know, went back and rewrote that through.
When you have a dream, do you wake up and make notes?
No, I remember my dreams quite vividly, and I figure the ones that stick with me when I wake up to then go and write the next day are the ones that are worth sticking with. So, yeah.
And what are your hopes for Killing Me Softly?
My hopes for Killing Me Softly? I just hope people love reading it. I hope they love what I've written, and that they'll get as much out of it as I did, that they'll feel the music that I'm talking about when the characters are feeling their emotions through the music. I hope that they really fall in love with Daemon, because I think he's a bit of a spunk. And, you know, and that they really feel for Alexia and her plight, and her twin as well, that's who's been through a bit of a bad time. So, yeah.
Well, I'm sure they will. It's a great book. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you, Leisl.
Thank you.